Hey, how's it going, everybody? Another pickups vid for you guys, and for anybody who's just wanting to see the music-related stuff, the turntable and whatnot, just fast forward as I'm going to show the Transformers first. They're small, so easy to show. And right off the bat, I got these at one of my thrift stores that was having 50% off today on everything, and they were already pretty damn cheap. I mean, it's usually like 50 cents at most, or whatever for a small toy. Yeah. Lady gave them all to me for $1. This one, all I know is it's a Transformer. I have not located it yet online to know which figure this is. And I'm thinking it's one of them that might have came with a larger figure or vehicle or something to where it attaches to it. It doesn't look like a standalone Transformer. And on missing parts, I have no idea other than what I have here. Once I get them all cleaned up, he's in good shape. Anyways, got this guy. Close up there. And it's kind of how he folds up. It's just weird. That's why I'm thinking you might be a part of something. Save the best for last there. This one, other than stickers, I think it's pretty much just missing an arm and any accessories that came with it, and the arm is on like a little ball socket, so it just pops in, pops out. So if I ever found another one, I've got spare parts here. Anyways, got this one. And let's see. This one's dated Kara 85. Yeah, that's what was throwing me on this one too. I can't find a date anywhere. Must have been stamped on something that came with it. Say the only thing to identify it is it's got a little Transformer sticker. Got me. And one of these is GoBot. It's not in perfect shape, but not god-awful horrible. This is it in vehicle form. It's got 3 metal wheels. Transformed here. I need to find a little screw. It's the main body is die cast. But it's a tiny screw, so I don't know. And there's some little posts to the back of his feet, like he attached to something. I'm yet to find one online that's totally complete. Oh, and there's something that goes to the back of his head. That's what he looks like. It's all this part here. It's all die cast. And this one, dated 87, Takara Hasbro. And other than the stickers being pretty beat up on it, it's not in too bad a shape. And the robot, when it's transformed into robot, it's real basic too, which tells me it's still Gen 1. It's got a spring-loaded something here where there's also a switch right above my finger there that makes it so you can open it up. Kind of locks in place when it's in the car mode. Otherwise, it's pretty basic on this guy when he's transformed into a robot. Otherwise, pretty cool. Say, other than stickers, he's pretty good shape. It's like one of these fins up front here almost got tweaked, but not enough to break it. It just shows signs like maybe it fell and got smacked to where, see, it's a little discolored there. Wise man, all of them for $1. I'm making a point of trying to hit that thrift store up anytime I'm in town. It's just they're one of them where it's all volunteer, so they close early. I think it's like 4 o'clock they close, and I'm usually in town later in the day. But when I can catch them, I catch them, because you can really find cheap stuff there. They're not greedy like Goodwill. Alright, that's all the toys. I might as well show you guys this. I'm going to show the turntable last because it's kind of awkward, and I want to try and show you guys how it works by holding it, as it's a really cool turntable. Anyways, I'm not a fan of Kiss, but this was the only thing close to what I listened to at Goodwill, so I grabbed it, and it turns out that I got a pretty good find here. It's not worth a ton, but worth more than $3. This is Kiss, Paul Stanley. And this is something to where each band member had their own album, and I do have it in here. They each came with part of a panorama type poster. This poster is perfect condition as far as I'm concerned. All I see is one little mark to the back of it where it doesn't count. Okay, there's just a little bit of separation in the middle of it where it folds, which that usually happens with old stuff like this. It just decreases as it is from the 70s. Anyways. See there, it's got those weird tabs. That's how you'd piece it together. So you'd have to buy each one, and then you gradually get a nice big poster. Otherwise, say the record played perfect once I got this record player all cleaned up. Which that was the thing, man. I had to do a lot of cleaning on the inside of it. Is it open it up, plug it in, and just gradually clean it, then test it, clean it, test it. I think it sat for a very long time, not being played. And this is definitely one where you have to maintain it. A couple radios here. This one, I'm just going to say cassette radio. Probably from the 70s. I'm not going to call it a boombox. I don't consider a radio a boombox unless it's got 2 speakers, like this one sitting here. But still cool enough. This was $750, and everything works. Anyways, this little Panasonic. Hell's the model? Model number is RX1540. Could use a little bit of touch up on the silver paint. Well, it's not in bad shape at all. This one, not near as old. But man, it is near perfect condition, and it plays beautifully on everything. I just had to clean it up good. It was really dusty. But man, it damn near cleaned up like new. Anyways, let's see. Where is the model of this? This is a Sony CFD 440 CD radio cassette recorder. And the sound quality for this thing, for the size it is, man, really good. Typical of Sony, man, really good. You get what you pay for. Let's see. So, assuming the other one's from the 70s, late 70s. This one is 1993. Say, man, just really good condition, and this was $10. All right, let's see. I think I'm back far enough. Should be okay. Plug this thing in. The only way I could test this record player was through my boombox that's behind me, my old late 70s one, as it's got it to where you can hook up a phonograph, so I know everything works on it now. And for what it is, it sounds good. It's definitely one where you need a pretty damn strong amp, as it doesn't put out that much sound into the system, so it definitely needs a good amp so you can crank it up. Because that's what I was having to do on the Ghetto Blaster, was crank it up. But even on just fairly low level, man, it sounded good. Good record player. And this one, when I looked it up, they started making these in 85, and I think they either stopped in 88 or 89. And this is the more rare one, being that it's silver. The more common ones, and what I was seeing mostly on eBay and whatnot, is the black variation of this, where it's a little bit different on the model number, otherwise same thing, just different look. And it is heavy. Sucker is built really good. So anyways, Sony front-loading record player here. Model is PS FL7. I think the black one is FL7 II. Say same thing, just black. Same controls. Nice. Try and hold it level here. Just press that. And this, you can have it play a record while it's open, as in the tray slid out, or you can have it to where it's like it is now. As you can see, it's got a weird looking stylus arm there. The way it works is there's a metal bar, like a conveyor belt type thing, to where it just goes straight across the record. It's all electronic. That's what I had to work on. So back to where it was here. This is very awkward. When I open this thing up, man, all the inside's all metal. It is built really good. I can tell this was not cheap. So anyways, I was able to somewhat test it out at the store. I couldn't get it to play a record. I could get it to play a little bit, and then it would stop. And it wasn't the turntable. That worked first try, so I didn't have to do anything with the turntable. It was the stylus arm. The bar was all gunked up, as the grease had just gotten old and dusty and just nasty, so it was having all kinds of crap getting in there and just slowing it down or just outright stopping it. So anyways, what I did on that is, it's all I had around that I could use. I cleaned it off first with a rag and got as much of the crud off as I could. And then I had a little bottle of oil that you get with your electric shavers or whatever for the blades. Basically the same thing that you'd have for like a sewing machine or whatever, like sewing machine oil, same consistency. And just put little drips down that, and then gradually just ran that back and forth, as there's controls on it to where you can just move the arm back and forth manually. Hence, you can play it while it's open and pick what song you want to play. Finally got it to where it was cleaned up good, as it got rid of the rest of the crud. And now it plays great. And on what makes that arm go back and forth for the stylus, it's not the usual rubberized belt. It's more of a cord. Looks like it's got maybe a little kind of a weight thing on it. Either that or it's how it's connected. I didn't really look it over much, but anyways, it's like a heavy nylon cord around some spindles and then attached to that. As it can only go so far, and the way it's set up is it's all automatic. When it gets to the end of playing the record, it's supposed to go back into its starting position again. And on other stuff that I had to do, which this was no big deal, I still had some left over from Radio Shack when I still had a Radio Shack. Yeah, there's one spot on the cord where it got scuffed to where wire was exposed, so I just cut it and then shrink tubed it back together. That was the only actual repair I had to do. On the regular record player itself, on the electronics and stuff, nada, man. It was just a lot of cleaning. And on hooking it up, it's crazy how they had it. I guess there was a special type of Walkman that Sony had to where you could hook it up to this. If you wanted to record straight from this to a tape, I guess, via cable. They're showing one cable in the manual that I downloaded for this to where it looked like a regular piece of just wire ribbon type cable with a plug on each end. I mean, just really, really basic looking. And then there's another thing you can plug in that I guess it's like a remote, or maybe it's also for recording to where it's like a headphone jack. Otherwise, just stereo connection here for left and right speakers. So anyways, that was 15 bucks. Steel. Does have some scratches on the top of the casing and on the side, but not bad. It looks like it never got dropped or anything. It's just scuffed up from probably being packed around all these years. Or from the people at the thrift stores. They don't take care of stuff very good there. So it could have gotten scratched against something while they were sticking in one of the tubs. And it was pure luck, man. It was another one of those things to where guy was bringing out the big thing full of infinite shit, and this was in one of the tubs on it, so I grabbed it before anybody else got to look at it. So, when you guys have info on that you want to share with me, thanks. That'd be really cool, because as old as I am, hence I will be 49 this year, that is literally my first record player that I've ever bought myself. My outright first record player was a little kid's one that my parents got for me, because by the time I got old enough to want to buy my own music, I was already into tapes. And I started out with 8 tracks, which didn't last long, and then cassette tapes, and then CDs later in the 80s. So never really got into collecting records or anything. Other than looking at that at the store, I knew it was going to be a bit of a rarity and valuable. On rarity, I don't know. I haven't researched enough to see how really rare it is. Let's say scarce, very scarce. Because I found plenty of the other variation for sale. And a lot of them were being sold as is, as they couldn't get it to work. So there might be something else in it that can break easy. But so far, so good, man. It's lasted this long. Yeah, say, man, on this guy, if any of you know who this is, let me know. I can't remember the names of the other ones, but I was able to find them on eBay easy enough. It's just this one guy that I can't find them. Which Murphy's Law, I'll probably find it as soon as I do click. So, anyways,